So here we are, the gateway to the Whites, the White Mountain Range. Something we've been anticipating, something we've been expecting, and something, in all truthfulness, that I'm a little fearful of. However, today is day number 1 in the White Mountains. We're starting with Mount Moosilauke, and luckily, I am slack packing today. So I am delighted about that. It's day 131 of our Appalachian Trail northbound through hike attempt. Jasper here. It is July the 5th, day after Independence Day. You know what, guys? We got a hard day ahead of us, but we've got a whole bunch of hikers. Take a look at this. There's a whole gang of hikers in front of me. There's a whole gang of hikers behind me. I think in the slack packing group, I think they said there was 13 slack pack hikers starting this morning. That's just from the one hostel. There may be others from elsewhere, who knows. Okay, with nothing left to say for my morning intro, let's get to hiking. The first view of the day, the waterfall, the famous waterfall running down the side of the beginning of Mount Moosilauke. Is that amazing? Or is that amazing? What a beautiful day ahead of us. Okay, let's get to hiking. Right now, I'm going to say we have about 1.5 miles to go to reach the actual summit of Mount, what the heck, Moosilauke. I couldn't think of the name. We're on a false summit right now. Not much filming of the actual climb. 2 reasons. One is, first of all, I'm using a day pack. And if you recall, we had this problem before with no sternum strap. I've no actual way of mounting my camera now, ever since I broke the articulating arm. And I'd still need a sternum strap anyhow to mount that way. And secondly, except for this section right here that's like a false summit, it's been super challenging. Well, very challenging. I've done worse. I'm a little surprised, to be honest with you, that it wasn't, or, well, I won't say it wasn't. I'm going to say it hasn't been worse up to now. I'm pushing towards the summit, but I've still got, well, 1.5 miles to go anyhow to that summit. So just basically a little update. We're trying to beat the rain. We forecast rain showers this morning, thunderstorms this afternoon. It's only basically a 10-mile day, but it's a challenging 10-mile day. Up one side of Moosilauke and down the other. Heading southbound, I believe it to be the easiest way to go, simply because you're climbing the harder part rather than descending it. It's better to do that simply because it's much more challenging to descend the rock face than it is to climb it. Oh, that's what I believe anyhow. And so does pretty much everybody else, because out of the group that was at the hostel that was doing this today, which was 13 hikers, they all elected to do the southbound. Oh, maybe we've got a view here. Let's take a look. Well, we certainly have a view of the tops of all the trees, mountains. I believe if you look way, way, way in the distance, you can see a long slope and a peak. I believe that is Mount Washington. But of course, that's several days away yet. I think now that we've officially started the Whites with Mount Moosilauke, I think I've got 7 days-ish, depending on performance, speed, weather, and so on. About 7 days of the White Mountain Range. Tomorrow, my schedule is to, or my plan is to leave the Welcome Hikers Hostel, or Hikers Welcome Hostel, is to leave there, full pack in hand, or on back, and push north for a 2-day hop over the Kinsman, arriving at Lincoln. Lincoln will be my next resupply, and I think my final resupply of the whites. I think the one after that is at Gorman, and I believe Gorman is at the farthest part, is at the north end of the whites. So we're going to have a reasonable resupply there, several days of food to get through that second section, if you will, of the whites. So that's basically what's going on. We'll talk more later when able. Right now I'm going to go back to using my trekking poles with both hands, because it would be silly not to. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. We passed tree line, trail marked by cairns like this one. Another cairn ahead to the right, signpost. I believe, oh, by the way, just for a moment, just take a little look. Now, that right there, my friends, that's the whites. That's what we're going to cross. But you know what? You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you what I'm going to say. Last year, very close to this time, July the 26th, we started a trail that took us 500 miles across, through, around, and over the US Rockies. We've seen many sights, just like this one, but much, much, much higher in elevation. We're talking 12, 13, 14,000 feet. We've been there. We've done that. We're there again in the whites of New Hampshire. I think what makes this trail much more challenging is what's underfoot. The rocks, the scrambling, that you just don't have that much of on the Colorado Trail. The gray sky and the pending rain, so far we're doing great. I do believe, as I say, we are summiting Mount Moosilauke, the first mountain in the whites in New Hampshire. And as I mentioned earlier, the next 6 to 7 days we will remain in the whites. Of course, depending on weather, could be longer. Some of these peaks, such as Mount Washington for instance, they make their own weather. It's windy up here. I hope the wind is not affecting too much my audio, my recording, because I want you all to experience what really is these once-in-a-lifetime feelings. It's just like in Colorado, when you summit the mountains and you look in front of you and what you see laying before you is the whole expanse of the Rocky Mountains. The same here, the same experience when you look across this mountain range. What you see lying before you is the whole and total expanse of the White Mountain Range of New Hampshire. Every bit as spectacular, every bit as amazing. And you know what? I haven't said this much on this particular hike, and I usually say this a lot. In fact, it became somewhat of a kind of a known kind of call sign for me, but was, there's nowhere else I'd rather be right now than atop Mount Moosilauke, the White Mountains, New Hampshire, the United States of America. Whew. I see the hikers ahead of me. Looks like they're hiking, taking pictures. So I'm pretty sure, and from the terrain and what I understand, I'm pretty sure we're reaching the summit. Oh my goodness, what a great day. So this is indeed the summit of Moosilauke. There's other hikers here enjoying their experience for sure. But wow, what an amazing day today for sure. Oh, there's some people I know. But what an amazing day to be up here today. Let's go take a look and see what this plaque says. Let's see what all the fuss is about. Let's see what we worked for today. Woo! Mount Moosilauke, 4,802 feet.
Is that imperial feet?
Well,
okay, there's no such thing.
There isn't? I didn't know that. I just learned that. But yeah, here we are, folks.
You can invent it right
the top of the mountain. What we worked for this morning, perfect. Absolutely perfect. If I had the means to strap this camera to me, I would. Very steep, rocky descent going down the north side of Moosilauke, sorry. But I simply do not have anything to attach it with. So unfortunately, this is basically all I can give you of that. But believe me, it is challenging. We just came out of the forest, the woods, after descending Mount Moosilauke. And it brings us out to, well, a memorial flag lined with United States of America flags. I'm assuming military, but you know what? Let's go take a look and see what this plaque said. Is it a resting place? I don't know. State of New Hampshire, cut from glacial boulder. Oh, I see. Donated by Mr. and Mrs. Mellon Benson of Conway, New Hampshire, 1972. Well, this is a resting place, look. And it's military. Romeo King, private, U.S. Army, World War I, 1898, 1979. Oh my, there's lots of these here. You see the rows of the stones in the ground? I believe this is all military. You see all the stones? Yeah. William Duffy, U.S. Army, Korea. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for the service to what I happily live as my freedom today. Wow. I don't know. That's pretty special right there. Okay. Seems as though we have a convoy of hikers heading down the road. And I'm going to head down this road. And I think I have a mile on this road now. I have choices of going through the trail or a mile on the road to the back to the hostel. Either one is approved by the ATC for the through hike, so I'm going to go to the hostel down the road. And we'll talk to you guys a little bit. So after the first mountain, Mount Moosilauke, in the White Mountain Range, has been summited and descended, and we're heading back to the hostel now for coffee and lunch and whatever. I have to say that well, first of all, the views were just spectacular. But the hype I'd heard about Mount Moosilauke being this amazingly hard hike, just in all truthfulness, it didn't pan out. Now, that doesn't mean anything for the Kinsman it's next, for the Franconia Ridge, for Mount Washington, Lafayette, Jefferson, all the mountains that's ahead of us. All the 4,000 footers. That doesn't mean anything in the regards to them. However, it does mean that they might not be as bad as we anticipated in the white. Just like the Smokies. We said, oh, how hard the Smokies were, but you know, they weren't. Anyway, the hardest thing in the Smokies was the ice, the snow, the slush, the sleet, the freezing rain, and the snow, whew, and the regular rain, all rolled up in one. So far, so good. A great day, day number 131. I think it's about 10 miles. And the rest of the day now, from about, I should get back to the hostel about 1-ish. The rest of the day is my own. I'm going to shower, hose down, that'd be nice, and take the 5 o'clock shuttle into town. That'll be nice. And yeah, that'll be nice. Whew. Right now, we're on this road, this 1 mile road. When you come out to this road, you have a choice. You can go through the forest, or you can blue blaze the road. Either one is approved by the ATC. So I decided just to make my life easier. So did, looks like Anchor ahead of me. It's spitting rain. It's supposed to rain, supposed to thunderstorm this afternoon. So we did really well with the rain and the weather today. I'll give you a if I can. If I can, I'll show you around the hostel a little bit, a bit of footage of that, if I can. Depends on other people, who's there, and privacy and so on. Anyhow, let's keep going. Budweiser, cold beer inside. I think this is remnants of a time gone by. It's probably, I don't know, country store there at one time. A couple of small homes. Glencliff Community Chapel, a Bible teaching church. I, the Lord, am your Savior. Local church. Home. Well, that would actually make a pretty damn good hostel too. What's on this side? Campwood. So a logging operation. Wow, you can buy different bundles of wood for different prices. There's a $20, a $40, a $250 bundle. I think that $250 bundle must be a bush cord. I think I like the look of the $40 bundle for the best deal. I don't know. Beautiful little garden there. West 25. So we're heading west on New Hampshire 25. Yeah. Not far down here on the right. We will come back to the hostel where we're staying again tonight. Then we'll get shuttled back to where we were shuttled to this morning, but instead of hiking south over Moosilauke, we'll head north, deeper into the Whites, and start our 2-day hike over the Kinsman. I think that's a couple of mountain peaks that takes a couple of days. I don't think it's that far. It's only like 16 miles to get across, but it's just challenging. And for a more, let's say, I was going to say an old guy like me, but you know, I'm going to stop saying that. Let's just say for a more mature gentleman as myself, that might be too much for one day. So they recommend that mature gentlemen and mature ladies do it in a 2-day hike. And I'll do that. I'm okay with it. Okay, let's keep pushing on. Almost there.